All right, so we're gonna do a little snap there, just so I got something.
Snap, snap, snap.
God, that spiked the hell out of the mic. Anyway, so welcome back, Zach. This is episode 2
Isn't it episode 1?
You know, you're right. Fuck, cut. Come back
Shut
in.
it down. Shut
So,
it down.
Zach, welcome back to welcome to episode 1 of I guess I called this Retrocast on the channel with the upload.
That hasn't been taken yet.
You know, I Googled it, and the only podcast I could find that was called Retrocast was these Italian guys who haven't updated their channel in like 4 years.
Huh.
So,
Well, there you go.
Here's the thing. I don't care if it's taken. So,
Well, then.
If this ever went anywhere, then I would just default back to calling it Real Retrotainment. Or I'll think of something creative, like the fucking Fight a Boss podcast. Like, I love that name. So
That's already taken. I actually listened to it. Let's Fight a Boss.
yeah, let's we'll call it the Let's Beat Up Some Heroes podcast. So anyway, this is episode 1. Mari will not be joining us because she's trying to fall asleep. I think she's over there on her phone playing solitaire. But Mari did not watch. Oh wait, she did watch it with me. What am I talking about?
It.
Oh god,
I'm
that
a
movie
vampire.
was a clusterfuck. Yeah, so I'm gonna let Zach. First of all, we're gonna talk about a handful of things today, but the main thing we're gonna talk about is a movie that Zach recommended I watch, and I was familiar with because of the
Memes.
immense amount of memes that exist for it. But
I had never
Zach,
seen
why
it
don't you
either.
go ahead and
Oh, no, I had never seen it either. Vampire's Kiss.
Oh.
Nicolas Cage. 1983? 9?
yeah,
Are you super sure?
yup,
Okay, I'll take your word for it and still also look it up because I don't believe you.
it's fine. That's the way this relationship works. We're all googling it right now.
1988. We were both wrong, but you were closer.
I was closer, so I win by default. It is funny you mentioned that because when Mari and I were watching the movie, we had the same conversation where we were trying to figure out when it was made because I saw that Maria Conchita Alonso was in this, and I always associate her with The Running Man. Mm-hmm. So yeah, God, that was such a fucking weird movie. We could talk about that in a little bit. Like, let's save the bulk of that for a few minutes because I need to compose myself before we start talking about that modern cinematic masterpiece.
Yep.
So
It's the best.
It's been a pretty eventful day. You know, you got your channel art done. Well, your mascot.
Yeah, mascot for now.
redesign.
I gotta
Yeah.
get Tibbs to do my end card. That's gonna take substantially more time, and but I know what I want him to do. He knows what I want him to do. It's just a matter of getting the money together to do it. So
Yeah. Well, who did your new mascot?
Mosky or what's his full? I know it's the Mosky on Twitter.
The _Mosky.
Okay.
And I'll link to his Twitter in the comments because
Yeah,
that man, Jesus Christ, he is a machine.
dude, he is
Like-
he is good and he is fast and he's affordable. He's all the things.
And he's Italian. I think he's Italian.
Wait,
he has an
really?
Italian flag in his profile. Yeah,
I thought he lived in Mexico.
I thought he did too. I don't know.
I guess we
I
could
can't tell.
always
You know, sometimes-
ask him.
Yeah, let's just go randomly ask Mosky, like, what's your
Mosky,
nationality?
what exactly are you?
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where the hell Mosky lives. All that matters is that man gets sweet, sweet art done at a rate that I have never seen anyone else pull off.
Really
So
does.
he redid your mascot, which
Fucking adorable.
I mean, I could probably throw an image in the video. Maybe I'll put it in the wallpaper, like the background for the cassette thing. That would look kind of cool. But he also got my Twitter banner done, which I'm super fucking excited for. So to explain my Twitter banner a little bit, I had this idea where if you go to my Twitter page, which I'll read the description. I'm actually going to go there right now, and so I can read this so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So the Twitter page for Retrotainment, the description for it in the bio says, the Twitter account of a guy stuck in a bunker with an old computer will be discussing theme park history, video games, and possibly Freakazoid. So originally, the concept for my channel was going to be me actually conversing with the computer. And it was going to be my weird attempt at voice acting, because you can ask Mari, anyone that knows me, I just like making random voices. So
I think you just like to talk.
I do like to
Hear
talk.
yourself speak, in fact.
I do have that sweet baritone. But the original idea was going to be me talking to the computer as we go over the history of certain things. So there's like a back and forth there, because even though it's a solo channel, I very much enjoyed, having a back and forth, even though this will be a back and forth with myself. I don't know what that speaks to my mental state, but whatever. That got shot down quick because it was way too fucking convoluted, and you'll understand this. Script writing is not fun.
No. Really, I kind of thought you like it because you like to write. I figured I hated it because I hate writing.
I
Ignore
like
those
writing
noises,
stupid
drop
shit.
Okay.
I like writing stupid shit like random long political posts on Facebook or stupid Civil War letters. Like, I enjoy writing short stories, but when it comes to like script writing, it's something I've never done before, and it's really fucking intense. Like, it's really difficult to, and this is something else you'll attest to research something and then write about it, because in my head, I always feel like I'm doing a disservice to what I'm writing.
See, that's why I just do opinion pieces. I do the minimum
Gotta
amount
love
of
those
research.
op-eds.
Wikipedia does everything I need it to. If it's wrong,
yeah,
it's
I thought it
Wikipedia's fault, not mine.
I thought it would be really cool to have like that back and forth, and then when I tried writing a script for it initially, I was like, this is fucking terrible. Like, I wouldn't want to watch this. Why would I expect anyone else to? So I shifted it, so it was just going to be more, I think I already went over this with you, but do you remember that stupid Dixon's Butter commercial that I made like 2 years ago?
It's still on
like,
the Fury Box account.
Yeah, fucking so to explain this, on our old channel, the people that we hung out with regularly on there, we had this running joke about this family that made butter called Dixon's Butter, and it was supposed to be like, America first, and like,
Integrity.
Integrity? What's the like the heartland of America? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It was this family. They came over on the Mayflower, and like this butter's churned by hand by Americans and stuff like this. And it was a running joke between us. And one day I just had this idea. I was sitting at home. I had nothing to do. And I wanted to create a commercial for it that mimicked Ken Burns style documentary making. And anyone that's ever seen a Ken Burns documentary knows they all look the same, but they're weirdly addictive to watch, where it's like pictures with like slight pans and slight zooms and narration over it. So I made this commercial, and that commercial started playing through my head when I was coming up with the idea for this channel. So this is all a very convoluted way of getting back to me talking about the fucking Twitter banner. So,
Excuse me.
the final concept for the channel is just going to be me talking about the history of certain things. But that's very much been influenced, very much so has been influenced by a whole new spate of YouTube channels that I follow. Like, I don't know about you, Zach, but like the stuff that I watched originally when we were starting to do Fury Box, a lot of Let's Play stuff, I don't really keep up with any of that stuff anymore.
I don't either. I think of something like 3 years of just watching that shit almost all the time. I think I just burnt myself out super hard.
Yeah, I get it.
I'll watch the occasional one, but it's pretty rare that I watch them anymore.
I think you and Mari watch the same stuff when it comes to Let's Plays. Like, you do the Game Grumps, what are they called? Power Hour?
Yeah. They're little when they fuck around and just do whatever for, however long.
I'll watch. I saw their channel update where they talked about wanting to pull back. We talked about this also, but like Let's Play stuff. Excuse me, Let's Play stuff. I haven't watched in God knows how long now. Like Ninja Sex Party, I still keep up with that because I fucking love them.
Well, yeah, that's music. That's different.
But like my focus on YouTube and I guess what I'm more interested in now has definitely become more of like the documentary style channels and the history style channels, where they talk about it started with the Disney stuff, like Disney history and all that, and led into theme park history. And now I'm finding all these channels with like great video game history, and it's like, it's insane the quality of some of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, yeah, like I'm really, really digging all this, and that's really kind of pushing my direction for this. But
I mean, have you seen any of the video game historian stuff?
yeah,
God, his shit is so high quality. And he does some like, long forms ones now. He did one on Tetris that was something like an hour long. It was awesome.
Oh god, what's the name of the one channel I was binging like a motherfucker, like Stray Fox, I think that's their name. They I posted, I think it's called Stray Fox. I need to look this up because it's not doing them justice if I don't remember the fucking name. I posted the video in our Facebook chat where they did the Sonic 3, like how that was created. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Stray Fox. Like, anyone who considers himself a fan of like retro video gaming or video gaming history, you need to just go watch every single thing on their Splash Wave series. Like, legitimate TV quality stuff, interviews with like original creators like Koji Kondo and like all these people that worked on, like, it's mostly Sega, but it's crazy how they break it all down. Like, they talk about Sonic and how that led into Sonic 2 and how that influenced Streets of Rage, then Streets of Rage 2. So good. But god, man, I really can't stay on topic. We probably do have ADD.
I mean, I was tested for it and it was negative, but I suspect that those doctors didn't know what they were talking about.
Maybe I think the doctors probably had ADD when they were testing you for it.
Could be.
But we were talking about Mosky. The Twitter banner I made is a nod to all the things that have kind of inspired me for this channel. You've got the Matrix Trawl up in the top left corner, which you recommended, so I threw that in there. Then you've got the Final Fantasy VII loading screen, the Epcot Center opening day video, which is in the bottom corner. There's actually a screenshot of my subscriptions page, which you can't read it, but it has the channels there with their videos. Then there's like a premiere editing box, the Sunset Riders, which I put in there because who the fuck doesn't love Sunset Riders? The bottom left corner is a screenshot from Gattaca, which is probably my favorite movie ever. Gattaca. And then the top right is the weird meta Twitter thing I told you about. But like, it's got your single cell shark bobblehead in there, which Mosky did. And then the one thing I realized nobody will ever see because it's blocked by the fucking Retrotainment icon is the fucking Bloodsport DVD box. I'm a little disappointed nobody will ever see that. But yeah, it feels nice. Like, it feels good kind of getting back into things. Yeah,
it's a fun hobby. Because it's been a good year since I've made a video, and because I made the mistake of when I was first like starting up my own channel. I was like, I'm gonna do a video like every week. I didn't have a job at the time. What else was I doing? And then I tried to do that, and I think I lasted a good like 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'm just like, in my last 2 videos was just, I really phoned it in. I just got fucking burnt out. I just didn't do it for a good 1.5 years. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't set a schedule for yourself. Just do the videos when you want to do the videos. Don't try to schedule it.
Completely disagree with that.
No, don't do a schedule, man. You set yourself up for a schedule. You're setting yourself up for some headache, let me tell you.
I think you just need to set a schedule that works for you. Like, I think doing one every, when we were doing Fury Box, we were doing like 1 or 2 a day. And that worked because of how easy they were to edit. It just wasn't very satisfying. Like, I've noticed that I get a lot more out of working on the more like intensive Premiere stuff than I did out of, let's record this gameplay. Let's add a fade in and a fade out and slap the audio and then put a watermark and then put an end card.
It was very much like a fucking assembly line feeling doing those Let's Plays.
Yeah, and like, it's
just plug
some
it in,
of it I
render.
love. Like some of it I really enjoyed doing. Like I really enjoyed the Evoland series that we did. Spooky's House of Jump Scares is probably my favorite thing we ever played.
I think my favorite was probably Until Dawn.
Until Dawn was really good. I bought that on sale like 4 months ago because I want Mari to play because I think she'd like it.
Oh, that's
and I
fun.
keep forgetting I even have it. Yeah, I got that for like $4 on sale. So
It's a good game.
yeah, it was really. That is another one I really enjoyed watching you go through. Like fucking.
God,
man.
I'm so
spoilers.
bad
I loved.
so fucking bad at QuickTime event button prompts. I'm so bad at them.
I love that game. Like I love that the. Oh, I just realized I can't talk about it because Mari's in the room. God damn it.
Mari, get the fuck out.
Pork chop sandwiches, get the fuck out. But yeah, like these, like doing the thing that I showed you with the cassette tape in After Effects, that took me like an hour and a half. But at the end, like I felt like I accomplished something. It was something I hadn't done. I learned a bunch of new stuff, and it's definitely more satisfying. But the downside to these kind of videos is there's so much more work that goes into them. So I definitely think you can keep a schedule up. It's just not going to be like the one a week unless it became like a full-time thing and you enjoyed doing it. But I mean, even like the major channels that I watch, they really only put out a video like once every 2 weeks, or sometimes it's once a month.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm really looking forward to getting back into the editing portion. That's my favorite bit.
Yeah, I love Premiere. It's fun. I'm hoping I can learn to do more with After Effects. I'd really like to kind of try and create an intro, but dude, there's so much shit in After Effects. It's insane.
I made my intro that I currently have. I'm about to make a new one with the new channel art, but I made mine all in Photoshop. It was I mean, you have to look at it, but like I found a like a VCR like static kind of thing. Someone had just posted a video of some VCR footage of some tracking and shit. Put that, I figured out how to make that video kind of transparent while still showing the tracking and everything. Made a simulated image roll. I was really proud of myself when I figured that out how to do that on my own. I was super proud of myself. Gonna have to do it again. Hope I can remember how I did it the first time.
I was really disappointed with like right before we stopped doing Fury Box, I came up with that glitch intro. Like we only used that for like one or two things, if that. And I was super proud of that because that was the first time I'd ever really done anything inside of After Effects. And that never really went anywhere. I thought about using it for Retrotainment, but it's not the feel I really want for things with this. So, oh well. That project is sitting in the Fury Box folder along with a ton of other shit. So, but, you live and learn, I guess.
Hey, man. You're hanging on the edge of tomorrow.
So, now that we're done reminiscing like two old men talking about shit that didn't go anywhere.
Back in my day.
Speaking of things that didn't go anywhere, Vampire's Kiss.
I think that went everywhere.
I'm talking about financially.
I meant to look up like little fun facts about it, and I completely forgot because I wasn't expecting us to do this tonight. Did you find some stuff?
I did. I found a handful of things, which
I meant to look some stuff up, but I'm like, oh, we'll probably do that like in the next day or two, and you're just like, hey, want to do it now? I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get it out of the way because tonight was my late night, and then for the next 3 Tuesdays in a row, I work 10-hour days, so I'll be out for like 16 hours of the day, give or take. Yeah, it's not fun. And then Wednesday's D&D, and then by Thursday it will have been a week pretty much, and you know, I wanted to try and do it while the movie was still relatively fresh. So, Zach, I'm gonna let you do a quick summary of this since it was Zach's idea for us to watch this movie.
Well, I found out about it because I follow Wisecrack and their podcast, and it's Nick Cage month. So they were talking about Vampire's Kiss. I'm like, that movie looks ridiculous. I need to see it. It's about fucking what is his? What's the dude's profession? I guess I could always just look up a summary.
He's like a literary agent.
Yeah. Is literary agent played by Nick Cage. and he likes to he's fucking weird already, but he likes to take women home and everything. And one night he takes home, I guess, the wrong one, maybe.
Are you saying it's weird to want to take women home?
I mean, Josh, I'm married and I've been married for a long time. It's weird to me. I respect women.
One thing I like about this is that Nick Cage had a distinct taste in women with an ethnic flair almost.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, huh, Nick Cage. Fuck it. What is his name? Let me look up. Peter Lowe. Yeah, Peter Lowe has a taste. He has a type.
More power to him. But anyway, continue. So he takes these women home.
Right. He takes these women home, and he takes home one who turns out to be. Well, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. One night, when he's got this lady with him, a fucking vampire bat flies through his window. It's the fucking most spoopy ass fake bat you've ever seen.
Yeah, let's. I don't think Zach's doing enough justice.
No, dude, I'm really bad at recaps.
So.
If I had written one down or had one in front of me, I'd do a better job. But now, like I said, I wasn't prepared.
I'm gonna summarize.
I can read one on IMDb real quick if you'd like.
I'm gonna summarize the first 5 minutes of this film, and then we're gonna talk about the rest of it, because the first 5 minutes of this movie alone really kind of set the tone for everything. So please come with me as I go into Vampire's Kiss. We start with Nick Cage in a club, and he's a man about town. This is the 1980s. He's a high-powered wheeling and dealing literary agent, and he's at the club. It's nighttime. He's trying to get his groove on, and he meets a woman there whose name I can't remember. I think her name was Jackie in the movie.
I think so.
So he meets this woman. They hit it off. They're like, okay, let's do this. They go outside. She flags a cabbie down, and he's like, whoa, I live like 3 blocks away. And then the cabbie curses at him like, oh, fuck you, you cunt man. First of all, that cabbie, the minute he started cursing at him, I was like, done. This movie's going places. So they go back to his place, and, they're working their way up the stairs. They get to his apartment. He's about to get it on. They're in bed, right? They're a stone's throw from Bang City, when out of fucking nowhere, wireframe and all, this bat that came straight from a fucking Spirit Halloween store swoops down from the window and just starts fucking with him right before he's getting ready to get it on. And the woman he brings home, Jackie, like, her reaction to this, I went to see like a Juilliard film study on like the reactions of women in this movie, because at first she's like, oh no, I don't know what to do. And then she's like putting her clothes on and looking at him and looking at the bat and kind of like, is she getting into this a little bit? And then she like bolts for the door. And Nick Cage is like having a moment with this bat. He doesn't really know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And then goes outside and maybe it's because I'm a man and I don't understand the mind of a woman in the 1980s, but the fact that she waited outside half naked for him, like, I would have been gone. And let's not forget the creepy little white kid on the steps who's just watching them do everything. Mm-hmm. And then she rolls out half naked in her bra and panties, and the kid's looking at her like, oh, fuck yeah, I can get behind this. And then his mom just pulls him up the steps. I like to imagine that kid went on to become like one of the MAGA Republicans. Like, this is what fucking people do to New York City. Like, oh man, the movie was so fucking weird. Like, everything about the movie was weird.
It's fucking bizarre. It really is.
It's okay. It's bad. It's a bad movie. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
But it's one of those so bad it's good. It could so really bad it might actually be good.
So, first interesting fact about this movie, a Blu-ray was put out for it, and Nick Cage did a commentary for it in 1999, like I think it was for a DVD release of this that they remastered for the Blu-ray, And apparently Nick Cage never really sits down and does commentary. So the fact he did it for this movie, he was quoted as having said that this was one of his favorite favorite things he's ever filmed. And that so much was cut from like the overall film that we didn't really get the full message of this movie.
Air quotes, the message.
To which my response is, what is the full message of this movie?
What are you trying to sell us, Nick Cage? What is it? Go on. The fucking bat. So I had heard about this. Apparently Nick Cage, he was really into like method acting and everything for this movie. He wanted a real bat, and they had to talk him out of it, and he was very adamant to have a real bat. And they were just like, all right, look, Nick, we can't have a real bat because if it bites you, you could die. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well,
at least they didn't get Daniel Day-Lewis to do it, because he would not back down on the bat, goddammit. He would have gotten one.
But,
so this whole movie, to summarize this, is about Nick Cage, who meets a woman in a club, not the first one. He meets another woman.
A different curly-haired, darker-skinned lady.
Played by Jennifer Beals, by the way, who is most known for Flashdance. So meets her, takes her back home, getting ready to get his freak on with her. And Mari pointed this out, and I didn't even notice it. When she's laying on top of him, like topless, and she turns, like you can see the pasties that they use to cover
I noticed that too.
Like no editing at all, just out plain as day. Like you are not seeing you are not seeing Jennifer Beals' nipples in this. It's not happening. So if you are one of the people going into this movie explicitly looking for Jennifer Beals' nudity, you're gonna leave disappointed. I don't know what to tell you, because I didn't really look her up to see what else she was in naked. I'm sorry. I failed you all.
There used to be websites for that. There probably still is.
MrSkin.com. That was one from back in the day.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah. Anyway, so he takes Jennifer Beals home, and they're getting ready to get it on, and she just sinks into his neck, vampire and all, like in his mind. This is what's going on, apparently. So, this starts Nick Cage's character on the slow
and downward spiral,
entertaining downward spiral into believing he's a vampire.
Yep.
Which I cannot stress to you. It's really hard to accurately convey how weird some of this movie is. But if I was going to have... Actually, I'll ask you that too, Zach. But if you were going to have one person watch one scene from this movie to really sell how fucking weird it is, I think for me, like...
I bet I know which one you're going to pick, too. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
the scene that fucking just nails it for me is toward the end of the film. He's gone completely off the rails at this point.
Oh, yeah.
He has sexually assaulted a woman who her and her brother are now trolling the streets of New York looking to beat his ass with a tire iron.
Spoilers for Vampire's Kiss, by the way.
And, so he goes completely insane and is running around. He buys a set of fake vampire teeth.
Yep.
Great scene, by the way. Like into this magic store run by this old Chinese guy, and he's like, "I need to see the best set of vampire teeth you have." And the dude pulls out this is like composite, refined glass or whatever.
Looks
you can
slightly
see the curve
yellow,
in the tooth and everything.
Whatever. And at that price, did you hear the price? $20. This shit would probably go for like $70 these days.
So he's like, how much are they? $20. And he looks through his wallet and he's like, I got like $3. What can I get for that? And he hands him like these fake ass plastic vampire teeth.
The shit you get during Halloween.
If you want real proof that Nick Cage is committed to method acting, he wears these for almost the rest of the film.
Dude.
And then murders a pigeon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he actually did catch that pigeon, by the way. They were just drugged. He was very proud of himself until they told him they were drugged pigeons.
I did not know that. See, Zach brought some more facts to the table.
A little bit. I brought He eats a live cockroach.
The scene that sold this movie for me and actually made me, I'm probably gonna buy this, is so toward the end of the movie, he's completely off the rails. He's sexually assaulted a woman. He's murdered another woman in a club and is out of his mind. He's running through the streets and asks this like black married couple, like, kill me. He hands him like a wooden stake and he's like, just kill me with this.
Yeah,
and
it's a plank from a pallet he just broke off. It's just a pallet plank.
I really hope that like that married couple were not part of the movie. Like they're just filming as he's running through the streets and they found them.
I had heard that it was just him. They didn't like have these scenes set up with like extras or anything. It was just him when he's running through the streets. I am a vampire. That was just real New York, apparently. At least that's what I had. Well, that's what I had heard.
I did read that. Part of the movie there was like a film strike with the workers union, and the scene where he's outside talking to Jackie, the character Jackie. They're like outside of a club. In the background they had to edit it out, but there are like Teamsters there actively like shouting to ruin the film direction. Like they're messing with the director and everything because they haven't been paid or something. I don't know. But anyway, getting back to it, what sold me on this is he's running through the streets. He's out of his mind, right? And he takes this wooden plank and goes up to a pillar of a building and proceeds for the next like 10 to 15 minutes of the movie to have a full-on conversation with his like therapist.
His therapist, yeah.
Which his therapist, he's had some really interesting interactions with her throughout the film, but this scene is it's Citizen Kane. Like I don't know how else to describe it.
He's imagining himself like talking to his therapist, and his therapist is just like giving him like the nope, don't even worry about it. Go be happy kind of thing.
Yeah, like he's explaining to her that like he's explaining everything he's done, like, you know, oh, I raped a woman, and his therapist is just like, oh, it happens, she'll get over it. And he's like, oh, I should also mention that I murdered someone. And she's like, do you know how many people are murdered in the city every day? The world goes on.
my favorite bit of that whole thing was by the way, I'm a vampire now. It's a long story. Just like fucking just casually.
So like his therapist is like, I know what'll cure this. It's love, and like hooks him up basically with this, and I'm using air quotes here again, like I did in the first episode, her other patient.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, this is a
perfect match for him.
Keep in mind, this like whole interaction is in his mind. Oops,
yeah, he's going through all of this in his head. None of this is actually happening, which is leading to another point I'm going to bring up later. But he in his mind goes out of the therapist's office with her, and then it goes back to the street, and it's him like talking to the plank like it's the woman, and going back to the apartment. And it's just, I'm at this point in the movie, you've really only got like maybe 5 or 10 minutes left in the movie, and it's
like, where could it go from here?
It's so fucking weird. And oh my god, speaking of the therapist, another scene that was great was when he loses his shit about misfiling the paperwork.
That's my favorite scene. That is my favorite scene.
He jumps up on the couch. Like, he has no working concept at all that a human being could misfile paperwork. And I don't mean that as like,
I've never misfiled anything once. Not once.
Hands on hips.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Like, I'm not exaggerating this. I'm not using any sort of like, I'm not trying to flourish or embellish this. I mean this quite literally. Nick Cage's character in this film has no working concept in his mind that paperwork can be misfiled.
Yeah.
Now that may not seem like a big deal to you, but in the context of this movie and the shit he puts Maria Conchita Alonso's character through, I think her name was Alva.
Yeah. They have a client.
Go on, Zach. You explain this. I've been talking a lot.
Yeah. So they have an older client that they he wants like their first agreement or something like that framed.
It's a contract from like the 60s. It was one of the first things they ever did. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, can you find it for me? Because like I want to frame it, So he gets one of the secretaries or, whatever she is.
Like a paralegal. Almost.
Yeah. To like dig through all the old archive files and everything. He's like, I've already looked for it and here and here. You need to look for it now. And just as the movie goes on, he is just tormenting this poor woman constantly. He's like, still haven't found it. Oh, dude, the best scene. He's like, oh, what was her name? Alba. Okay, so Alva. Alva is. So he's like, I want you to stand there, Alva, because I on the line I can't remember the client's name. Let's say Mr. Smith. Let's just say Mr. Smith.
Because I want you to listen to the bullshit I'm gonna have to come up with.
The bullshit, the story I'm gonna have to spin because you could not find the contract. And it's just like, hey man, I'm just look, I'm actually moving, so like no hurry on that, contract. It'll get done when it gets done. It's just like the coolest guy ever, and just like, all right, well have a good day, Peter. And it's like, you too, Mr. Smith. He just hangs up. He's like, well, Alva, I didn't have to spin a story because clearly I couldn't get in a word in edgewise. It's just the fucking deadpan.
It's the scene when he goes out to her house and is outside the window and it's just like, I brought you soup, and it's like a little instant packet of broth.
So yeah, as the movie goes on, as he is spiraling into madness, he is tormenting this fucking poor woman worse and worse, actively chasing her through the office, jumps on a desk.
He chases her into the women's restroom.
Am I getting through to you, Alva?
He chases her into the women's restroom.
Terrifies this poor woman.
This movie was just so fucking weird. It's so hard to describe it to someone who hasn't seen it. So trying to actively convey the insanity that Nick Cage puts out in this it's really a testament to Nick Cage as a human.
Have you seen him do a weirder role? Because I don't think I've seen him in a weirder role than this. Like this kind of amount of zaniness. Like I can't think of one off the top of my head. I mean,
I don't think I can think of anything weirder than this.
I mean, Raising Arizona was kind of weird, but he was more of like a simpleton character. But in the fucking accent. I don't know if I would
put that as weird.
What accent do you think that is? That he, like...
Oh, I think he was trying to sound like sort of yuppie.
Which like, actually is... Like American
that's a good segue
yuppie?
Into something I want to mention. So, the whole time I'm watching this movie, have you seen American Psycho?
I have. It's you're not the only one who's kind of compared it to it. But yeah.
This whole movie has a knockoff American Psycho feel to it, which doesn't make sense because it came out before American Psycho did. But it gave me that whole feel. But it plays on a lot of messages from American Psycho. The idea of like the lost youth in the 80s and like drugs everywhere and spending money and just nightclub life and all that, but it really felt like American Psycho to me.
Except for Nick Cage is not relatable at all. He's the most unrelatable character you can have.
But it is a very apt comparison because you're starting with two characters in the 1980s who are businessmen in positions of power for the most part, and it's their gradual descent into madness. And both of them are horrible to women.
Yep.
Oh man, we should watch American Psycho.
Oh, we should. I think I've still got that on Blu-ray. Pop that boy
I bought it. I had Mari watch it, but maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I think that for the podcast, it'd be nice if you pick a movie, I'll pick one. So maybe we'll do American Psycho.
I don't even think I picked this as much as just like, hey, have you heard of this movie? I've never seen it. It looks crazy. I'm going to go ahead and watch it. And you're just like, hey, let's do a podcast. And I'm like, okay. Good as
it
works.
As I want to talk about movies on this. Yeah. So, we can talk about other shit too, but it definitely works for movies. So anyway, that's pretty much how we feel about Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah, please go watch it. It's fucking weird. I'm
I would love
Bringing out the
nothing...
dead. He's pretty fucking crazy in Bringing Out the Dead.
Yeah, I'll give you that one, but not as crazy.
No, not as crazy, but he tickles the edge, tickles the balls.
I feel like if you're a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is something we will reference a lot in the course of this podcast, you'll appreciate this if you can watch it with other people and actively make fun of it. I would love for the Riff Tracks guys to get their hands on this movie.
This is one I kind of wish I had watched with someone. It feels like a movie you want to watch with someone and just lay back and let it happen to you.
So, unfortunately, it is slightly difficult to come across this movie digitally.
Yeah.
I rented it through Vudu, the service. That's if you collect movies digitally, then you've probably used Vudu at some point. It cost me like $2 to rent it. I think you can also buy it on Amazon for like $7. And I would go as far as to say it's worth buying. If you're a fan of like good, bad movies, or you just want like a movie experience quite unlike anything else, then I would definitely recommend this.
Yeah, I definitely would. It's an experience, let me tell you.
I would give it 4 out of 5 pixels.
Oh, is that your rating scale? 4 out of 5 pixels?
No, I just felt like saying that.
Okay.
I'm going to change it every time. Next time it's going to be nipples.
All right. I'm down for that.
No, you know what? I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. Alva, are you listening?
Am I getting through to you? Alva.
Oh man,
movie.
Anyway,
such a quotable movie too. Holy shit.
Yeah, littered with meme material.
It really is.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Vampire's Kiss. Was there any gaming news to really discuss? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's shit left and right. Like
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about 76 in a week. It has been blank days since Fallout 76 news.
It's like one of those signs in a work foundry. Yeah. It's been X days.
It's been consistently every week something new, but I haven't heard anything this week yet. But there's still hope.
I don't know. I mean, we can keep the gaming part of this pretty brief. We'll touch on it more next time. The only real gaming news I have is I played the Anthem demo.
How was that?
That was an experience.
I have heard mixed things. It's fun to fly around, but
it is so much, dude. It's so fun.
You're very much Iron Man. Yeah, about to say you get to be. You just play Iron Man.
Pretty. So here's the thing. I hate the term blank killer, like Destiny killer.
Yeah, because it's never fucking true.
Yeah. So this game was being hyped as.
I mean, how many Halo
Destiny
killers have you played?
And quite a few, and the only one that's ever come close was Gears of War.
Mm-hmm. You know what was a Halo killer? Halo 5.
So this was being pegged as a Destiny killer, which Destiny is. I can do a whole fucking podcast on Destiny. We're not going to get into that.
No.
But following Anthem's development, I was intrigued by the concepts. I was also really intrigued that BioWare was doing it because they don't do enough, in my opinion. I love the Mass Effect series. I've never played the Dragon Age series. They never interested me that much, but I've know people that are obsessed with them. So when I saw that they were doing this whole new IP in a world like this, and it was supposed to be like a loot shooter, which I love those kind of games. I like the grind for stats. I was excited for it, but after the way Destiny was handled, I'm very skeptical of games like this, so I was going to wait before picking it up. So they announced a week ago that the demo was going to go live for VIP people for this weekend. So if you had pre-ordered the game, you got VIP access. I wasn't pre-ordering anything. But luckily, Red Bull fucking was just giving out codes left and right on Twitter, and I managed to get one of them. So the demo itself is... First of all, the game is buggy as fuck. It should not be released in the next month. It comes out February 22nd, and the general consensus everywhere online is that this was not a demo, this was a beta. Because as somebody brought up on Reddit, and I agree with completely, I think the term demo has lost its meaning.
It has. It's always a beta now. Or a stress test or something.
A demo is supposed to be a small sample of the finished product so you can get an idea of what a game is going to be like.
That's what the Resident Evil thing felt like.
Yeah. A beta is access to a game early in its development, or relatively early in its development, so you can get an idea of the core concepts and help shift those in a positive or sometimes a negative direction. And a stress test is where you generally allow public access into a multiplayer title to stress the servers shortly before a public launch. This was very much so a beta stress test. It was not a demo. Mm-hmm. So to start off the problems, the game was supposed to go live at noon on Friday. It did not go live until almost 4 hours later because EA underestimated the server capacity for the game.
Shocking, like they always fucking do.
Well, to be fair, I haven't had that problem with the past 2 Battlefields.
Really? I thought that was a constant with Battlefield. I don't know. I haven't played Battlefield at launch in the last couple games, so.
No, I haven't had a problem with this one. But, so they underestimated the server capacity, which I thought was fucking hilarious because when you have a company like Red Bull, and then there were other companies just slinging out these fucking VIP codes, of course your shit's going to get hit with capacity. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, you've got it across 3 different systems. You've got it across PC, the Xbox, and the PS4. So you have 3 different console systems all slamming your servers at once. But you know what? I can get over server capacity if the game's fun. So you load up the game, and you go into first person into this place called Fort Tarsis, which is sort of their version of like the player hub or whatever for Destiny. It's where you start your missions. And it's weird because you're in first person for that, but then you play the game itself in third person, and that didn't make a lot of sense to me. It's also so slow to walk around Fort Tarsis. Like, they need some sort of a run option, because when you start the game, you can't go right into gameplay. You have to physically walk to your javelin, which it's going to take you like 40 or 50 seconds to get to the javelin, which may not seem like a lot, but when you're loading a game, you want to play that game when it's done loading. At this point, you're loading the game to go into Fort Tarsis, to load your javelin, to go into the screen to get to the missions, and then from there, you can customize your loadout, which I'll give them credit. The equipment and the coloring schemes in this are fucking cool. Like, you have different, mesh patterns that you can color. Then you can make each of those a different type of color, like metallic, matte, whatever. There's some really cool color schemes people have come out with.
Available to purchase for $1.
No, they're all free. They're all free.
Really?
Like color patterns and all that stuff are all free. Now you have things called vinyls, which are kind of like more in-depth skins that you can put on, and those will cost money. But like if you just want to do like a different color pattern on different parts of your armor and everything, that's all completely free. The loot, which it's the one thing keeping me remotely interested in this game, it's all stat based. So it's not like Destiny where, you know, if you get the Gallarhorn, you know what you're getting. With this, you might get a legendary gun that gives you plus 5% to your shield generation. Someone else might get that same gun. It'll give them plus 5% to explosive damage or something. That's what I like in loot. I like that randomized effect. And then apparently later on, you're even going to have the ability to re-roll those stats, kind of like Diablo, how you could like re-roll things on weapons. Yeah. So that's a good way to keep me interested in a game. A bad way to keep me interested in a game is to go back what I was just talking about, where you're loading the game to go into Fort Tarsis, to spend a minute walking to your javelin, to load that screen, to figure out what loadout you're going to use. Then you load a mission or you load free play, and then from there you load your missions inside of that. First big problem of this demo, on the PlayStation 4, the game freezes at 95% loading. You have to close out the demo, reopen it.
I had heard about that, yeah.
it's weird for me to compliment them about something that I shouldn't have had to come across in the first place. But
It's like saying, good job, you made a color television show.
one of the features that they have is if you get disconnected from the game when you reload it, it gives you the option to automatically reconnect to whatever session you were in. So that's really cool, and that's the only way I was able to play, because I'd have to load my Javelin, load the game to 95%, close the game, reload the game, get to the loading screen, and then it would ask me, hey, do you want to rejoin your session? And that's when I'd get to actually play.
Well,
So
was it worth it?
I enjoyed flying around. Combat, they need a lot of tweaks to it. There was a lot of enemies popping in and out. The environment's fucking gorgeous, dude. Just go watch videos of it.
Oh, I bet.
When you start off, they knew what they were doing when they designed this, because when you start off, you're on this platform like 1,000 feet in the air. You could literally just jump off and dive straight down. And there's like a waterfall and then water caverns underneath that, and you can just rocket right into them and start swimming around and shit. There's a lot of dimension and depth to the map, and if the lore for the game is interesting, I can see it keeping people intrigued in the game, because you have combat in the overworld, like in free roam. So you just have creatures you can find and fight. And then you can also find your way into dungeons and missions that you can do, which help explain more of the story. And they're a little more randomized, almost kind of like the overworld encounters in Destiny, how they would do they would alert you, like dropship incoming in 2 minutes or whatever, and you would go there. They have stuff like that for this, but the game just feels unpolished right now. And that's all I can really say about it. They're going to be doing another VIP test this weekend. So honestly, you should try and get a code. I would like to be able to try and play this with someone else. I don't know if Red Bull's still giving them out, but I'll check before I go to bed. If they are, I'll just send you the link. All you had to do was answer a question and submit your email, and they gave you a code like 2 hours later. So,
Okay. I'll have to look into it.
We'll see what happens.
As for my gaming news, or whatever
You're
we're
playing
calling
Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'm playing Resident Evil 2. Fucking great. Really, really good.
I really like the demo.
Yeah, it's fucking super spooky.
I've never played Resident Evil 2.
I kind of play. I've like played with a friend. Like I play the first few bits of it, and then I just watched him play it. Because let's see, I think I played it when I was first 13 or 14, and the bit with the gun shop owner, fucking when the zombies break through the window and eat him alive. Okay, PlayStation 1 graphics are laughable now. That scared the shit out of me.
Dude, fucking, you want to talk about scary? Did you ever play Dino Crisis?
No, I never did.
Oh my god. All right, so you want to talk about frightening real quick. I do want to get back to Resident Evil because I am interested in this, but in Dino Crisis, there is a T-Rex that will just randomly pop through windows in that game and eat you. Like,
nice.
It's random. And like Dino Crisis was very Resident Evil. It had that sort of similar direction. So you'll just be walking around and it's like you're scared enough you're gonna get assaulted by a fucking dinosaur or something. Nope, T-Rex pops through a fucking window. Just fucking right there. Like it's very much so of the times that stuff could scare us. I'm pretty sure June will grow up and be like, hey, it might not be scary now because he's probably gonna have like fucking 8K VR by the time he's our age. But, like, looking back, he'll be like, Five Nights at Freddy's. That shit was fucking creepy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very easy for us to go back and say, like, shit like the PlayStation was frightening. But, yeah. Resident Evil 2, man. Looks good.
Resident Evil 2 is really, really good. Unlike most people, I started... you start the camp... When you start the game, you can pick between playing through as Claire or Leon, right? Yep. And their stories are similar, but not quite the same. You do mostly the same stuff, but you'll fight like maybe a different boss or encounter different enemies. They're just different enough to make it worth going through a second time. So I went through as Claire, and She doesn't get the shotgun, I found out. She gets the grenade launcher, and that thing is a godsend when a liquor pops out at your ass. 'Cause you just melt that
Sounds
motherfucker.
like my sex life.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fucking great. The sewers are a hellscape. I hate the sewers. I'm already going through my second playthrough as Leon this time. I'm in the sewers, and I don't
to be
like
fair,
it.
nobody wants to deal with the sewers when we're in real life. Why would you want to deal with them in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah. It's...
Zombie gators? Fuck that.
But yeah, fucking Resident Evil 2. It's great. I don't have any complaints about it so far.
I really want to play it. It's just that there are 3 games out right now that I really want, and they're all new. And
Kingdom Farts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, Ace Combat 7, and then this.
Oh yeah, you're an Ace
Kingdom
Combat
Hearts,
boy. You've kept up with that for a long time.
Fucking love Ace Combat, and I really need to pick up this new one before the pre-order bonus goes away. So I have Kingdom Hearts 3 coming in tomorrow. Had to yell at Amazon about that shit. I pre-ordered it and they're like, you don't get launch day shipping. And I'm like, I don't fucking pay you for Prime to not give me launch day shipping. So like I messaged him and the guy was like, I'll give you 1 day or like same day shipping at no cost. And it's like, it is at a cost. I give you money every month for Amazon Prime. Like that's the cost. But anyway,
120 a year, probably going to go up again.
Dude, honestly, I'm thinking about canceling Prime. I don't use it that much, but
I do though. I order a lot of my comic books and shit from Amazon.
It's how you get your 12-gallon tub of lube.
God, you can get so much lube in 2-day shipping.
No.
Where's my stuff, Amazon?
You are a man that does like the slip-in pegging, so I get it. Mm-hmm. But well, actually, you get it. But I'm ching. But yeah, so I have Kingdom Hearts 3 coming in. I really want to pick up Ace Combat, and when it comes to Resident Evil, I know the story. Like, I love the stories because I own the archive book. I remember reading the Wikipedias, like, when that first got put online. I really enjoy the Resident Evil story, even though it's gotten kind of convoluted lately.
Oh, God, dude. 6 was a nightmare. If you played through 6, I think, with me.
Yeah. But I've never played the original Resident Evils. I never played 0. I never played 1 or 2 or 3. I started at 4, and that's because when I got my GameCube, my friend was like, you need to fucking play 4. Just take my copy and play it.
That was the first one I actually beat on my own.
Yeah, I've beaten Resident Evil 4, Jesus Christ, I don't know how many times. I beat it like 7 times on the GameCube, who knows how many times on the PS2.
Same.
And I like that game, and I like that style, so going back to like the classic style Resident Evils, I can't do it. That's why I'm more willing to try this one, because they use the mechanics from 4 and up in this. So
if you ever run across 0 or the remake, the HD versions on like the PS4, they give you the option to use the alternative controls, which is just regular analog controls, so you don't have to do tank. It's much more playable using that. Like I played a little bit through 0 while I was waiting for 2 remake to come in, and I was having a good time. So it is far more playable without tank controls. I am not a tank control purist by any means. Fuck that shit.
I'll definitely pick up 2 at some point. I mean, it's honestly all 3 of these games are games that I could wait for used copies to show up and get a discount. Mm-hmm. Kingdom Hearts, not so much. I feel like that's a game that people are going to hold on to for a bit. But like Ace Combat, once people beat it, they're done with it. I can get that cheaper.
Play the other Kingdom Hearts? Because that is a series that I just skipped altogether. And
Kingdom Hearts 1
looked at some summaries, and I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
So Kingdom Hearts 1 is one of my favorite gaming experiences of all time. And I also have a soft spot in my heart for that game because I have a memory tied to it with Christmas, where it's one of the few Christmases where my mom had more money than she normally does, and my mom never fucking had money. And I distinctly remember her asking my sister and I, we could get one more gift, which never happened. Like, my mom usually bought us like one thing, and this year, like, she had a bunch of shit, and then she was like, I'm gonna go out and get each of you one more thing. What do you want? And I told her I wanted Kingdom Hearts, and she went out and bought it for me. Nice. So like that, I have like a very distinct memory tied to that game, like playing it Christmas Day, like the gummy ship stuff. I know people bitch about the gummy ship. I love that stuff. So then 2 came out, and I hate Kingdom Hearts 2 with a passion that consumes me. And
sounds like the parallel between Devil May Cry 1 and 2.
It's because of the fucking beginning of that game. You have to play as Roxas for like fucking 3 hours, and I hate Twilight Town. I never played past that. And everyone always tells me, you gotta play past Twilight Town to get to the core of the game. Like, I know I do, but I don't want to fucking have to do that. I didn't wait all that time for Kingdom Hearts 2 to have this little blonde asshole on a skateboard come by and ruin my fun. So, I have not touched...
millennials.
I'm not paying to watch Roxas fucking dab all over my Kingdom Hearts night. So I never finished 2, and honestly after that they just kind of lost me. But Kingdom Hearts 3 is very much so, like, as a gamer, it's one of those things I didn't think I'd actually see happen. Kind of like the Final Fantasy VII remake. I don't think I'm actually going to see that in my lifetime.
You probably won't. It's the next Duke Nukem Forever.
Fucking Gearbox is going to release a Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh.
But I bought Kingdom Hearts 3.
About Gearbox. Go ahead.
Oh, we will talk about fucking Gearbox, but I have a few feelings about Kingdom Hearts 3. One, the early review I read of it said that it actually does a really good job of summarizing all of the past games for you.
Fuck so you, like, that's not possible.
So I bought it, and this is the most weeb shit I'm ever going to say. I bought it specifically because I want to play the Disney worlds in it. I'm really excited for the Toy Story, the Big Hero 6, the fucking Tangled world. I fucking love Tangled so much. So I bought it really just for that, and I like the combat system. So I don't fucking know. I get it tomorrow. Amazon's going to give me $10 off of something random in the next month, so we'll see how that works. I don't know.
Or you could play a good game like Persona 5. Just kidding.
I'll get back to that
Sorry,
eventually.
Kingdom Hearts fans. I don't understand it. Don't get it.
That's
okay.
I'll beat Persona at some point. I'm really hoping that I beat Persona and it clicks with me, because everybody I know is like, Persona 5 is the best game that's ever come out.
It is a great game. It is also damn near too long. Like, it borders on the edge of being
the problem I'm
way
having.
too fucking long.
I have like 50 hours on this game, and everyone's like, dude, you're not even halfway through it.
Like,
and I'm like,
how many palaces did you get through? Or yeah, like palaces. I think that's what they call it.
When I stopped playing, I was doing the art museum one or whatever.
So that's,
I think it's only 2.
Yeah, I think that's the same. Yeah, that's, I don't even think that's a third.
But the thing is, like, everyone I know keeps talking about how this is like the best fucking game. I know people that have legitimately called this their favorite game ever.
It's a great game. It deserves every single bit of praise it gets. It's just, it's fucking
when
long.
does it start earning that fucking praise?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that your first Persona?
Yeah.
Personas are notoriously a slow start game.
I love the music. And
yeah,
I love the character. Like, the art direction in the game is possibly the best I've ever seen. I love the art style.
It is a slow burn. Persona games are always a slow burn.
Let me clarify this. In the event that anyone ever makes it to the hour and 3-minute mark of this podcast, I don't dislike Persona 5. I actually really enjoy it. I wouldn't have put 50 fucking hours on the game if I didn't. But it's very much a game that I went into with some people whose game opinion I don't completely trust, and more importantly, some people whose game opinion I hold in extremely high regard, telling me that this is one of the best games ever made, period. And that's a lot to live up to in my head, and so far the game hasn't hit that mark. It hasn't even really come halfway close to hitting the mark for, like, best game ever.
I mean,
so
art studio, plus that game, the Shin Megami Tensei Persona games, they get ball crushing also. So, like, I don't know. I think by the 3rd or 4th area or palace, I think I put it on the super easy mode where I couldn't fail and just sat back and enjoyed the story. I'm not ashamed to admit
I'm playing through easy mode right now. Like, I don't give a fuck about difficulty. Like, I remember when I first got the game, was when I first got the PlayStation. Baker was like, you can get all the trophies by doing this, this, and this, and I'm like,
fuck trophies.
No, I'm good. I got my platinum for Spider-Man, because that was easy and it was
Spider-Man
fun.
and God of War.
I got my platinum for God of War because that was fun, and I got my platinum for Ratchet and Clank because, god damn it, that game hooked me by the nuts. You know, I beat that game 7 times.
Damn.
That game is fun. Like, once you unlock the power weapons in the Ratchet and Clank game, it's just fun to go back and beat the shit out of that game. But yeah, I platinumed that, and I think those are the only ones I have. So, I don't know. And now you've got Persona R coming out in a couple months, and I'm like, Persona 5 R.
Yeah, I don't really know what that is. I don't keep up with it. I'll look into it, but I mean, if it's just like if it's just like the Persona 4 Golden type situation, then I'm probably not going to bother, but we'll see.
I don't know. But anyway, so lots of games coming out, interesting stuff. We can talk about that at some point too, but we should try and keep this relatively short. We're coming up on the hour and 6-minute mark here. So.
Yeah, we can wrap it up if you like.
Yeah. So anyway, Vampire's Kiss, great bad movie, fucking hilarious. Highly recommend it. Kingdom Hearts, still confusing as shit, but it's got Rapunzel in it, and Rapunzel is my fucking bae. And that's the way it is.
If we had time, I would have.
too.
If we had time, I would have talked about Cobra Kai. I would have sucked that show's dick for a minute, but
we'll let you suck off Cobra Kai in
next
the next
time.
episode.
Next time, I want to talk about Cobra Kai.
Next time on Podcast Z.
It's Duke Nukem.
Yeah.